Good morning. I'm Jocelyn, pelvic floor physical therapist and owner of the Vagina Doc Physical Therapy and Wellness. And this morning I wanted to come on live to share with you something that I realized during my workout this morning. I am trying to figure out how I can see if people come on comments because I can't see it typically. So give me one moment. Okay. So if you're on here live, comment live. If you're watching on the replay, comment replay. So I go to the gym this morning and the workout is, we get through the warm-up and we're transitioning into the workout, and it is 100 double unders. And the workout is, that's awkward. It's 100 double unders, 6 burpees over barbell, and then 12 front squats for the first round. It's 5 minutes, and then you have a 5-minute rest. The second round is 100 double under buy-in, 6 burpees over barbell, and then 9 thrusters at 85 pounds. And then the third round is same thing with the double unders, same thing with the burpees over barbell, and then 6 clusters, which is basically a clean into a thruster. And it is probably 2 minutes into the workout, and I feel the drip. Ladies, you know what the drip is, what I'm talking about, the drip. It is that it's either the drip of urinary leakage or it's the drip of blood. In my case, it was blood. And I'm like, oh crap, I don't have anything. Nothing. I don't have a tampon, I don't have a liner, and my close friends are not in the gym with me. And I thought it wouldn't be a surprise if for me to tell Rob, like, hey, do you have a tampon? But then I was like, I'm going to use this as a learning opportunity, as a friendly reminder of how unnecessary squeezing of the abdominals or the pelvic floor is a problem and can create stiffness in movement and just non-fluid movement. Like, it just can totally throw off your workout because so many people think that they have to brace their abs and they have to tighten their pelvic floor so tightly in order to, quote unquote, safely work out, which is totally not the case. So it's 2 minutes into this 25-minute workout, and I'm like tightening my pubovaginalis, which is a muscle that is in layer 2 in the 3-layer pelvic floor. This muscle goes around the urethra and the vaginal canal, so that when you tighten it, it does have some, very little, but some ability to close off the vagina. So I do that, and then after that first 5-minute round with the front squats, I sprint to my car, and my friend Josh is like, are you out of here? And I'm like, thinking about it, I'm like, maybe I should leave. And I'm like, no, I'm going to stay with it. But I didn't have anything in my car. And I thought, like I said, I thought maybe asking someone in the gym, but this was a good reminder and a good experiment. So ultimately, I did make it through the workout, but I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. I felt so stiff. I felt like everything was so heavy, and it was such a good reminder of how far I've come, like in terms of learning how to approach workouts from a breathing perspective and how to know when to properly scale how much brace I need, because before I used to brace my abs and everything so tightly, and you just don't need that. And in fact, it works against you, like I'm telling you. And here's the thing. A lot of women experience what I experienced when they feel that they're going to leak urine or leak blood in that case, and in my case. So what do? They contract their pelvic floor, which they contract it really hard. That in turn increases the activity of the abdominals, and it can create an unnecessary overactivity problem. This also can happen when you are lifting heavier weights than your deep core can handle, resulting in subconscious holding patterns in the deep core or subconscious breath holding patterns. Or, it could be that your legs are weak, your muscles are weak, glutes, quads, hamstrings. So your last, I guess, layer of support would be your pelvic floor, because that's the canal out. So in effort to prevent anything from escaping, it just spasms or it goes into unnecessary overactivity mode. And that's the problem with a lot of postpartum women rushing back to running, rushing back to CrossFit or high intensity exercise, and they can't pace their movements with their breathing. And, how do you become aware of it? Well, first it's understanding, where you're starting from. And that's where seeing a pelvic health physical therapist comes in, or that's where taking a program like what I'm currently in beta stage, but launching soon, the Postpartum Restore, Revitalize, and Reach programs basically walks you through of how you can test yourself, how you can understand your impairments, and in that case, if you do need to see a pelvic health physical therapist, you have more of a say in your care, and you understand more why your physical therapist is asking you to do the things that they're asking you to do. You guys, if you've been following me on Instagram, know that I am anti squeeze your pelvic floor when running, and I am anti squeeze the pelvic floor for a lot of things, except in the early phases of healing. Like if I didn't do quad sets and straight leg raises and knee extensions early on in my ACL rehab, when my quadriceps muscle was completely just like offline, I would have had a problem. I would have had a problem getting my knee extension. So early on in healing, there is a role of intentionally putting pelvic floor training in your recovery, but there has to be a rationale behind it. It's not just get a hand out and start squeezing the heck out of your pelvic floor. Same thing with the abdominal wall. Like, we have to rehab that. As soon as those muscles are rehabbed and we work on the timing and your awareness and all of those foundational things, then we can move on to deep core, teamwork, apply this to your movements, potentially add weight to add girth. It just depends, and everyone's different. So, in conclusion, my own issue, I couldn't think of anything else other than don't let this blood run down your leg. That's all I thought about. I know that a lot of women are thinking, do not let pee run down your leg. And so you go into protection mode. And this creates, if you do this over and over again, an overactivity problem, which is going to impact your workouts. It's going to impact your body somehow. And so in that case, you got to learn what's going on. You got to be empowered. If you want to be empowered, I want you to comment guide below, and I will send you the finished guide on the pelvic floor and the abdominal wall in early postpartum healing. If you want to get on the wait list, I'm taking 10 people for my launch for Postpartum Restore. So Restore is a 5-week deep dive in you learning all the components that go into your recovery. It is an absolute wonderful adjunct, whether or not you're in therapy or not. I find that I almost want my patients to go through that before they see me, or alongside when they see me, because I want to focus on helping the tissues heal, the things that need to be hands-on rather than all this education. This program is freaking fire, you guys. It's the thing that made me completely change my business. I am no longer accepting people as patients in person as the first entrance point to working with me, because it's inefficient. We might get there, we might not. A lot of women don't need to see me if they're given the right tools, if they're placed in the right environment for them to tap into their own inner healing. If you want to be on that wait list, or want information about how you could learn about it and then decide if you want to be on the wait list, comment wait list below. And last thing, really think about all of how you approach your workouts in the gym. Are you overly contracting your abdominals or your pelvic floor? If you are, ask yourself why. If you don't know why, that's when you comment guide. Be empowered. You have so much more inner healing capacity than anyone else outside of yourself. We are your coaches. We are your guides. We are not your saviors. We help. We tap in or come into your life at specific points to set you up on the right road towards your final destination or your next destination. And sometimes it's going to be a pelvic health physical therapist. Sometimes it's going to be a mental health provider, sexual health provider, gynecologist, urogynecologist. There are a lot of teammates that are part of your pelvic health journey at some point. So if you are still here, I thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this. That's it. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you next time on Real Talk with the Vagina Doc.